if I keep worrying about what everyone thinks about me, if I keep caring, like I'm never gonna get to the place where I want to be. Like none of your bitches that pay my bills, I don't give a like all you guys are homophobic anyway. Like,
and the thing is, right, I see a lot of stuff online where people are like cussing and dissing people for doing it, but half of you are sending it for free.
Exactly.
Are you 99 or
99.
Okay, sweet.
When's your birthday?
February the 5th.
Okay, Aquarius.
And
okay.
yours?
I'm a Pisces. February 21st.
Are you into star signs?
I am very into star signs. Very into star. Probably too much. People think, oh, it's crazy.
You know how like some people like they'll meet like the perfect guy or girl and they'll be like, oh shit, you're a Cancer. It's not do you know who that reminds me of? I don't know her personally. It's a singer I really like, Janae Aiko. Do you know her?
I love Janae. Yeah, she's like a triple Pisces.
Yeah, she's obsessed with like star signs.
Yeah.
Would it be an L then if someone was like a sign that you weren't compatible with on paper?
I just don't fuck with Capricorns that much. Like they're just not my favorite kind of people.
What are their traits?
I feel like they have ambition, but their ambition is so rooted from like it's not grounded ambition. It's like ambition to prove themselves like so hard to the world. And it's like sometimes I can like I respect it, like go for your thing, but on the other hand it's like it's so obviously like it's just there's something inauthentic about it. I feel like it's for power and control that they're trying to do it and they're trying to prove it. It's like let it flow naturally. That's my whole thing for Capricorns. Let it flow naturally. Let it come to you. Don't have such a strong grip on what you want to achieve so much that you don't see the opportunities around you. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. The only like star sign which I'm like, and I wouldn't even like cut it off completely, but I'm slightly reluctant to is Sagittarius men. But that's only because I've had like multiple bad experiences with Sagittarius men and probably Cancer men as well, because I can't be with someone who's super emotional just because I'm emotional, so it just wouldn't work. Maybe
like Libra or Gemini might work for you because they're also air signs.
Do you know any Libra or Geminis?
Probably. I probably know. I don't hate any signs. I'm not crazy. Okay, I'm not going to fuck with someone just because they're a Capricorn. Of course, I've got like one of my best friends is a Capricorn. You know, like from childhood. So
yeah, but like friendship compatibility is very different. To, like,
very different.
Romantic compatibility.
Very different than romantically, and even like a deep connection. I think it's you do hit a certain point. It's like okay, that's enough now.
Yeah, no, okay. No Sagittarius men for me. Yeah, is this all right there?
I guess it's great. It's just like juice.
Nice and subtle, nice and sweet. Because I thought, why am I always paying for a Malibu bottle, which is like 4 times the price?
What is this called? Coconut?
It's from Aldi and Lidl.
Okay, cool.
It's like, I'm waiting for my sponsorship. It's like like £5, but like it tastes exactly the same, if not slightly nicer. To be honest.
I think it's very smooth, very nice. Yeah.
I just think, why would I pay like 4 times the amount and just don't need to? You know?
I get you. I can't handle strong drinks anymore. I can't.
Yeah, it's not hard spirits every day. Do you know what I mean? There's ones that kind of like, you know, you have them ones who they're drinking really heavy spirits. It's like, do you actually enjoy it, or you're just doing it to show off?
Or doing it to heal, to cover up something inside, you know, like what they're going through.
Like, you know, them ones where they're like proper like downing vodka, and I think there's no way you're enjoying this. You're actually taking the piss out of me. Do you know what I mean? When you're like casually having shots and like a double, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Can't do that.
And like, I don't know.
That's crazy.
What's your drink?
My drink is actually dark rum and cranberry juice. My bestie put me onto it literally like a month ago. I was like, this isn't my thing, because I can't drink vodka and hot like gin and stuff anymore. Like I feel like it just doesn't agree with me. Like the next day is always terrible. But something about that dark rum and the cranberry juice like it mixes together really nicely and doesn't make me feel sick.
Blend. I feel like once you find your drink, you have a better like alcohol experience. Like I didn't find my drink at all at uni, which kind of sucks really. And it was always just like a real chore to like drink and like have fun. Like when is it ever going to get enjoyable? And it was when it was his freshers.
Okay.
So about 2 years ago, maybe. We were. Do you go out in London often? Have you been out in London often?
Yeah.
So Piccadilly Circus, Tiger.
Okay, cool.
And this guy was pouring a drink, and it was. I guess the Malibu, the Spenny version, and like pineapple juice. And I just like looking at it. And I just said to the guy, I was like, "Oh, yo, what is that?" He was, "Oh, so and so." I was like, "Can I please have one?" And like ever since I've been hooked. I thought my drinking experience has actually been enjoyable ever since. Before it was just like, this is just a chore.
Yeah,
this isn't fun.
Because I never grew up drinking, like, because of course, like, I was raised Muslim, so I didn't know anything about alcohol. Like, I had to learn everything when I was like 19, like when I started going clubbing.
Yeah.
And oh my god, drinks! I can't drink Coke and vodka. Oh my god, it's my worst thing. Tequila, I can't even do a shot of tequila without me wanting to throw up.
Did you go a bit too heavy at first?
You know what? There was a time where I could just drink like 18, 19, 20, I could drink like no tomorrow. But now I'm like, I have to be careful what I drink.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't.
Are you a mixer?
No, not really. I try not to mix.
Yeah, I try not to.
Because I just know it's gonna end up in a bad state.
Have you had to? Obviously, we're not here to expose. Have you had like some? Because I find that with my friends who started drinking a bit later, because obviously I think when I got to like 19, I was like, oh, I'm used to it. Like, okay, whatever. But I have some friends who like just didn't drink until they came to uni, and like they are very. I guess it's difficult to say because you wouldn't know, but like the way that I acted and moved when I was 15, 14 is the way that my friends who started later acted at like 19, 20. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get that.
And I'm just there like, this is just nothing to me.
Yeah, because you're used to it. Like, you're used to it. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, I used to be crazy.
Don't they?
I was crazy back then. Yeah, 19 was crazy. 19, 20 was crazy.
Was the gay village seeing you a lot?
Yep. And it was cheaper back then, cost of living wasn't happening. Before COVID, it was really good. It was good before then. Up on the stage, dancing, nuts.
I don't think it's that expensive though. I mean, how long has it been since I've been? Not that recently to be fair, but I've never known it to be expensive. Every time I go out in Birmingham, I always find money on the floor.
You're lucky.
Every time. I remember this one time I was in Snobs and I saw this fire on the floor. I said to my friend, I was like, right, I need you to like walk back and just do this, right? Because some guy obviously didn't realize what he was doing. I thought, okay, well, he's sorting us out for the evening. And then like when I went to Nightingale's, I don't know which way around it was, either before or after. There wasn't like a long period in between though. I found like all these coins on the floor. I thought,
you're just lucky. Yeah.
But I feel like I don't want to go again, and then because if I do go again and there's nothing on the floor, I'll probably get a bit upset that my little like, not ritual, but my little like, not routine. What's the word? Tradition, routine.
I'd say tradition. Yeah, I'd say it's a tradition.
Traditional.
It's a tradition for you to go to Birmingham and find money on the floor.
Money on the floor, yeah.
But cost of living, you won't find that anymore. No, you won't.
Yeah,
maybe just needles.
In Brum Pacific, you're just everywhere.
Brum quite a lot, yeah. It's not my place anymore. I just avoid it. Like, I just avoid going out.
Do you want to move?
Yeah, that's my plan. Like, my whole plan, even the reason why I even started like doing that like online work is because my plan was to leave. I was meant to go to South Africa. That was my whole plan. Like, I was trying to leave the whole country. I don't like it here. Like, the way I'm
treated to South Africa.
Yeah, because my dad's South African. So
okay.
So that was my plan, and then because I was like, I'm not paying high taxes here. Cost of living here is crazy. Like, it rains all the time, and people treat me so much better. I feel like my experience as a, I don't know, gay Asian guy, like, it's just so different there. Like, here it's like, okay, but there it's like, wow, like, people really come up to me, are really interested in me. But here it's like, it's not like that. So that's why I wanted to go as well. But then I can't go anymore because I can't get it. So I'm gonna try America instead. That's my plan.
Do you not have can you not get citizenship because of your dad?
I can't until my parents have to do like this whole thing, a long ass process, and that probably take me years. Yeah, because they changed the rules in '98, and I was born in '99, so it takes a piss. Yeah. I found out literally last month that I wasn't able to get it, and that was my whole plan. Like, for 2 years, I was working towards like leaving the country, going there. Like, I was looking at places to rent every day on my phone, like, but it is what it is. I feel like everything happens for a reason.
Agreed. I agree with that as well. That's my mentality, especially with all the things that's been going on since COVID.
True.
Are you okay? Because it's quite interesting because so I have a friend who I might be meeting later. Actually, he's half South African, and he always says to me, he's like, Jord, it's so interesting. He lives in England. He lives in Surrey, and he always says to me, he's like, Jord, it's so interesting because the way that I'm treated. Apparently, there's been I've never been to South Africa, and I don't have much knowledge on it, to be honest. But he always says that there's been a bit of a rebellion with people of color against white people. He actually said to me that he doesn't feel super safe going there because of the current climate. But I don't have the knowledge behind it to like argue too much. I just thought it was a really interesting point when he mentioned it.
I mean, apartheid only finished like 30 years ago. Like it's only been 30 years since people have been even seen equally. But even though apartheid finished 30 years ago, it's still like the majority of the land is still owned by the people who descended from colonizers.
Yeah.
The wealth is by the colonized, like the people colonized. So I get why there's this, like, South Africans do feel that some type of way. I do think that in the future, they are actually, like my generation, for example, like Gen Z and stuff, they are moving towards a place where, you know, they can work towards a better future for everybody.
Yeah.
I do feel that's going, but it won't happen until there really is like economic reparations. At the end of the day, we live in a capitalist society. Like everything's capitalism. So there's so many poor people in South Africa. But even you can't even you can't just blame the people who descended from colonizers. Like the people who run the country, like the ANC, for example, they ruined the country. They're completely corrupt, and it's really sad. It's really sad to see what happened because it has so much potential. I do feel like South Africa is on a, what do you say? What's the exact word? Like, you know,
Uproar.
No, like, you know, when you like a comeback season, like this year is going to be like really pivotal for them. Like they're doing really, yeah, they're doing like a glow up. They're having a glow up. I think the future looks really good for them because they've been so, especially about the like world issues. Like they're standing on business and they're making sure that the whole world knows they're standing on business. And
I love that.
Like I was so proud to see that. And I do think there's going to be a future where it will be okay for everyone. But as you said, like, for example, your friend, he's white and he's come to the UK. I mean, of course he feels safer here. This is majority white country. And this is like the one, like, you know, of course he feels safe here. Yeah. But for example, me, my position, I felt so much more comfortable and safe in South Africa. Like, it's so different. And everybody treats you differently. Like, everybody treats me differently there. Here, it's very different. Very different.
Yeah, I feel like I want to say next year because this year I haven't planned. And I feel like when you have big plans, you need to have it ready at the beginning of the year. I feel like next year is really my travel year. Okay. I really, really want to, so I'm half Jamaican.
Okay,
never been because my mum doesn't like the hot weather. So, but I love you regardless, mum, because she watches. But like, I really want to go to Jamaica next year. That's my main thing, and I find that like. Because it's actually mad. I was watching Big Brother last night, and it was something that Zizi Mills said, and I actually didn't believe this because it's just not a conversation I have. Only 3% of this country is black people, which is like nothing, right? And I found recently, every time, so I live in quite a white area, annoyingly, but I find that every time I bump into a Jamaican person, they're like so friendly, like so friendly, right? And I've got like Caucasian Sam and Tilly, like just like cussing me for like literally just breathing. And I thought, you know what? I would love to know what like it would feel like to be in my own country. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or even just somewhere in Africa, or even just some more like people of color, not even black people, just people.
Different. It's different.
So I think next year is definitely my year to try and explore and be like, right, okay, let me like dip into this like different environment, see what it's like. Because I'm not reluctant to the idea of moving away. Like I feel like some people feel like it's a bit too ambitious, right? Like my parents will be, I don't know if
that's just British people. They always think anything's too ambitious.
Quite negative, right?
They're always negative and miserable.
Like mum's always says to me, she's like, how would you afford it? How would you cope? I'm like, well, I'm coping in the UK.
Yeah.
The UK is stupidly expensive. I know someone whose parents actually moved to Barcelona, has a really good job. The tax rate there is stupidly low. And Barcelona is a wonderful city. I'd love to live there. But yeah, watch this space, guys. We might be filming from somewhere internationally next year. Fingers effing crossed.
Bali.
Oh, fingers crossed.
Dubai.
Fingers crossed. But you're going to America soon, right?
I'm going in 2 months. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm gonna go.
Is it a work trip?
Yeah, it's both business and pleasure, both. But I would say mostly work. Like I really want to push with my online content, and I feel like I'll just have such a better audience there. Like it'll be so much easier for me.
Are we talking more like collabs or?
I think American people are just more like American people like me more than I feel like American people like me more than British people do. Same. Because it's the whole thing. The UK is such a jealous place. Where where you're from, people will never support you.
Agreed.
But you go somewhere else, they will, and you're not from there. Like, okay, they will support you. Like that's how it is.
The UK creative space is very small and therefore very competitive, unnecessarily competitive. Because my argument is, I don't know who I was talking to about the other day, but my argument is if there were more like creators who are in bigger spaces doing more like I don't know, like more things basically, they would have no choice but to make the circle bigger, right? But instead of having that mentality, people in the UK kind of think, okay, only a certain amount of people can work with this brand and it's competing for this and that. But if there were so many people making mad moves, right, they would have no choice but to like make the space bigger for a lot of people. Whereas like in America, because I'm always looking for creators all the time, just to collab with, just to talk to, just to like consume what they produce. And in America, you'll never stop finding them. There's so many, and like the love that Americans show me, I've never had that in the UK. Okay, I get it from my friends. To be fair, my friends are very, very good, but outside of that circle, when I look at my like analytics and who's watching, who's tuning in, vast majority. South Africa's pretty high up actually, but vast majority is the US. The US are just like the energy. Like I have like a lot of creator friends who are like creators and like podcasters, and they always say to me, "Oh, like when I come to London, let me come on your show." I've got about 4 people in the pipeline. Oh, they'll be like, but they respectfully, they live in states that I just wouldn't go to. But a lot of them would be like, a lot apart from my friend who lives in Manhattan. But you might know, I might show you after. I think you might know him. He's quite well known. But a lot of them, or they'll be like, oh, if you come to the States, let's hire a room and do that. And I don't get that.
You don't get the here, yeah. You know, I mean, it's just a bad vibes place. And I feel like growing up, even like, you know, this whole thing of like, back in like secondary school, like, oh, everyone was scared to be seen as a beg. This whole thing about being a beg, this beg, it's
That's
like
still present.
It's still very present, and people are scared to draw attention to themselves. They find it very cringe. It's like if you're so scared to even put yourself out there, you're never gonna get anything. You're never gonna move towards anything big. You're not gonna make this, like you said, like make the circle bigger and actually network and stuff.
Agreed.
It's bad vibes in the UK.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like it's selective bad vibes. I feel like it depends on. I said something the other week, and I don't want to like seem hypocritical, but I cannot remember what I said. But I said something about being selective bad vibes, but I cannot think of the example I gave. But I don't know. I just feel like half it just depends on your like environment as well. Like for ages, I was like so reluctant about doing this because I was like, oh, like, and it kind of annoys me. I actually wish I'd have started sooner. I wish I'd have started before like everyone wanted to be a YouTuber or a podcaster, because now it feels like I'm just hopping on a bandwagon. But I remember for like a good like year, I was like, oh, I don't know if this is for me. I don't know if I can do it. And I thought, well, who cares?
Yeah.
Who actually cares? Yeah. I think people actually, and I've spoken to like people who I haven't spoken to in years, and they'll say to me, I may not necessarily agree with what you talk about, but I respect you. And sometimes I think being respected is a bigger compliment than agreeing with what you do. Does that make sense?
True. No, everyone doesn't have to agree with what you do.
But I don't care, to be honest.
Exactly. But they respect that you're doing something.
Yeah.
That's the difference, which is great. Yeah. It's good that they at least respect that.
100%.
But
so
Bad Vibes UK.
So I have I've written like I've written a few questions.
Go for it.
Please don't think I'm not like listening just because my phone's here.
Okay, no worries.
But you know what? I want to start by saying I'm really like intrigued by you. I really respect what you do, and I think it's very. I feel like unique doesn't like praise it enough as it should, but like what you do is cool, and I respect it.
Thank you.
But the thing I want to say to you is, right? Do you know what I didn't realize? So I've been trying to do this for a while, but it's hit and miss because there's like one trying to find like someone who I think has similar energy to me, someone who I think will, you know, be able to conversate with me, and it won't be like awkward or difficult, or like it won't be like held back. But when I've been like looking into people who do like sex work online content, right, it's very like US heavy. Like I would find someone and be like, oh, okay, they're cool, let me try and like reach out to them, and I'd be like, oh, they live in America. Like I don't think I've been able to find many UK people alone, but then to try and even make it more specific to my niche, if you will, sex workers who are people of color. Exactly. Like I didn't think it'd be so difficult to try and find somebody.
It is I think that's why I did so well. Like I did so well because it was like there was no one else. Like when I started 2 years ago, there was barely any, or nobody who showed their face, at least, like who really showed their face even, you know. It's always at the body, whatever, there's all the DL to it or whatever. But I just knew that if I like, because I've always had social anxiety really badly. Maybe people can't see that now, but I did have really bad social anxiety, and I feel like I used this thing that I did for 2 years. Like I used this as a way to really force myself out of my comfort zone, because if I didn't force myself out of it, I would always be stuck there. And I was like, if I keep worrying about what everyone thinks about me, if I keep caring, like, I'm never going to get to the place where I want to be, like in 10 years time. Like, I knew I wasn't going to carry on like doing sex work for the rest of my life, but even like if I don't push myself and make myself very visible, even if I would say it's a pretty brave thing to do, not to gas myself up, but I would say as someone from
yourself up, it is a brave thing to do.
it's a brave thing to do. Like from my community, from the way I look, from the way people in the UK view South Asian people, the way people in the UK view Muslim people, the way people in the UK view like Muslim gay people, which they feel like they don't even exist.
Yeah.
It was wild. It was wild when I think about it. I was like, I had to do it. I feel like if I didn't do it, I would always regret it. And I was like, no one else is going to be brave enough to do it the way I did it. And it's like, I'm not doing it just for me. Like I have to represent, because there is no one else. Like there is no one else who's doing it like me. And I was like, or who could do it like me, and who was not afraid, because so much of like South Asian culture and like the way they think, it's all, everyone is kind of bound in by shame. It's like all like people make life decisions based on shame, based on society shame, how they come across. It's all about how certain families look at you, family, friends, family, whatever. I was like, none of your bitches are paying my bills. I don't give a fuck. Like all you guys are homophobic anyway. Like I don't fuck with you guys anyway. Like I don't like your views. Like I don't fuck with you guys. So I'm gonna do my own thing. And that's why I know I'm a bit passionate about it. But
as you should be.
Like,
you should be, please.
It was more than just like, okay, it was very easy money. I can't lie, very easy money. Probably the easiest money I've ever made. Like, it was so easy for me because I already like. It was so easy for me, but yeah. Apart from that, like, it was a really good experience.
Okay, so can we talk about this? So how do you like? So I'm somebody who like. I'm gonna regret saying this, but hey, we're here to have fun.
Just go for it.
If I was guaranteed to make good money from doing sex work, I 100% would. I 100% would, because I just think I'm really against like shaming people for doing something different. And the thing is, right, I see a lot of stuff online where people are like cussing and dissing people for doing it, but half of you are sending it for free.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But my question to you is, okay, so how does one go about building the audience in the first place? Like, do you just have to like have it very present on your main socials, or do you just is it just kind of like a bit of a like a lottery bit of luck, like trying to wait for people to like subscribe and like enroll, or like how does that audience get built?
You have to network on social media. You have to just social media promotions all the time.
Cool. On
different social medias. Like my favorite one that always seems to work, even though it's not like so easily accessible, is Reddit. Reddit is so amazing. And I know it's really interesting. People think, why would you promote on Reddit? People always promote on Twitter, but my thing is promoting on Reddit. And
Twitter's very graphic.
Twitter's very graphic, but I feel like it's overwhelming. But on Reddit, it's like you can just post one picture and people are like, okay, they want to see more. And through that, they go click to your links and then you get a subscriber.
Cool.
Like I got banned from Onlyfans 6 months ago, or August last year.
Okay.
I'm not sure what month we are now, but maybe that's 9 months ago. I got banned, and then I never got it back. I was on other platforms and stuff, but it was never the same way. It was never the same. Like it was never the ease of getting subscribers on that platform was like nothing. Like I would barely do anything. Like I had so much free time, and that's the best thing. Like I had so much free time, and I was just able to work on like my creative products, able to work on my mental health, able to like do the inner work, what I needed to do. And to the world, I can show like all this stuff on social media. Really, I was maybe like 20, I would say maximum I'd be spending like 20 to 30 hours a month working, like overall. And that's if I promote every other day or whatever, something like that. It takes like an hour to do promotion, I guess. But like doing the recording, that like an actual content producing, that's like maybe like 20 hours a month or something like that, maximum, you know?
That's less than what people do in a week.
Exactly.
So are you currently on any of these
platforms? I've got everything. Like last month, I need to have a break. I don't think I'm going to take a good break from it. If in the future I go back, but I'm not planning to. But if I do, because I'm able to, really monetize it in my own way, or maybe make my own website instead, because I don't want people taking the money off me. Like they always take 20%. All these websites, they always take 20%.
Yeah.
There's other new platforms coming out. I'm going to wait till they build up. Like one called Mint Stars, which they don't take a cut from you. They take they take 5% from the fans, which is really interesting, which is good. But it will take time for them to build up, and it's mostly it's a straight dominated industry anyway. I feel like me, I'm like a triple minority in that way. Like, okay, I'm working in the sex work industry, then it's like mostly heterosexual, and then okay, I'm gay, and then also being gay, I'm not white, so I'm a person of color, and then also like
you cater to someone's needs though.
Definitely cater to a good few people's needs.
I'm not going to ask you how much because I think that's a bit invasive. But okay, let's say in a peak month on OnlyFans. Like I said, I'm not going to ask you how much, but can you give me? How do I word this? Can you give me an example of something which would be easily accessible with your earnings?
Okay, because I'll just say the best month I did, right? The best month I did because that was after my collab, because it was like the first month of that collab, and I can still sell that collab every time I do a one collab. I can still sell that for the rest of my like life, pretty much. I can still make money for that.
Okay.
So a couple thousand was like a couple $1,000s a month, like 3,000 to 4,000, a couple thousand. That was after my first club in the first month, and that was okay. I'm forgetting enough of it. I was making. I didn't push myself so hard. Like I don't think I did proper collabs. I have not done like collab in ages because I was trying to move to South Africa and I didn't want to I didn't want to tax my ass, but he came up my ass anyway at the end of the year, so I was fucked. But yeah, a couple thousand a month was really good. It was really good.
Cool.
And that was
Quite
easy.
rare as well, right?
Yeah. It was so like, if I had just keep doing collabs, it would have been easy. But like if I had done one collab a month, oh, I'd be sitting so nicely. But I got banned, of course. So
and is that relationship, is there any opportunity to recover that account, or is it one of those things that you're just kind of like leaving in the past for the time being?
I'm leaving that platform in the past, especially because I know that they're unethical. Like there are things that they like that platform definitely donates to like genocide funding things. So I'm leaving that platform, but there will be other platforms I'm sure in the future. But
Yeah.
I always wanted to do like, okay, the sex work stuff. I want to do YouTube and I want to do music. That was my thing, like my three main things. And I kind of worked backwards. Like usually people would go into those other things first and then do the sex work. I was like, no, I'm going to go in first sex work and do something different and work my way backwards. And I feel like now that I've done it, I've done the mental work, because there was so much internalized shame I had to work through to get to a point where I could put myself out there. Now I feel like it's calm. Like I feel like I can do anything. Like now I just don't care. Like it taught me not to give a fuck what anyone thinks. And yeah, it's fine. But yeah, that's it.
I feel like and like we said before filming, like a lot of these skills, feel free to pour, a lot of these skills are transferable, you know?
True.
Once you've kind of been established and you're settled and comfortable in one creative space, it makes it a lot easier to navigate into another, inevitably. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think the pattern necessarily matters too much. I just think as long as you've got maybe a strong group and set in one thing, that can help you move into another. But I'm really glad that we're in a time where we're comfortable, or like a lot of people are more comfortable than not to be engaging in work, which, because let's be honest, not everyone is well suited for the 9 to 5 space.
Oh my god, I can't do it.
Some people just don't want to do it, and it's almost like you kind of get shamed for not wanting to be in that space. And big up to the people that want to do it. Do you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of stability. Like, do you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of longevity. Like I appreciate it and I can respect it. But like, what about people who? Some people's brains don't work like that. Some people's minds don't work like that. Some people just can't sit down for 8 hours a day. It's not accessible for some people. Forgive me if I've done my research wrong, and if I've done it wrong, I'm gonna have to cut this bit out. Okay. So I believe you were studying at uni?
Yeah.
Engineering?
I was studying, automotive engineering.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm really glad. Well done, Jord. So was it wanting to pursue into this sex work is what made you drop out?
My uni experience was...
Where'd you go uni?
Coventry University.
Oh, right.
It was really awful. It was really bad.
I've heard some awful things about Coventry. Are they still rolling, Sam?
Yeah, I've already done.
Okay, thanks.
It was... No, I wouldn't say I regret it, even though I hated it. I wouldn't say I regret it because it made me. I learned very quickly how the world is, like do that way, like do academia. I learned how people are and how industries are. For example, a lot of these engineering businesses, I clocked ages ago, like years ago, like because I quit in 2022. I was in final year. I was like, I can't see myself completing this degree, working 9 to 5, doing an engineering job, and all these systems like. For example, I don't think I can name the companies because I don't want smoke.
No, don't.
But a lot of engineering companies are really just weapons manufacturers. Mm-hmm. And then who are you that making weapons for? Like we don't have the international slave trade anymore, but we definitely have the international weapons manufacturing trade right now, and it's just. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And then also, I could not, no shade to straight people, but I couldn't see myself working 9 to 5. I just knew like I would end up probably offing myself if I was going like working an engineering job with like the most boring people in the world, just all men. Like there were no women even in my like, there was only like maybe a handful. And then everyone was foreign. Like no one would talk. Like no one had engineering students don't have social skills. Like it was just very like soul destroying. And I just couldn't. And especially after seeing like the way the world was going, I was like, all these electric cars. I'm not such a big fan of electric cars. I think some of them are a big scam. But
It's a bit long having to charge for like 2 hours. And
yeah. And then these batteries. I mean, yeah, you're not having fossil fuels, but who's mining all the cobalt for these
when are they
batteries?
running out? Is it like 20? When is it 2030?
2030, the UK
Yeah.
said that thingy, but I think they're going to change. They're gonna backtrack
I
on
can't
that.
afford an electric car anyway.
Yeah, me either.
So you're from a Muslim background.
Yep.
How would you say this like this new avenue has like conflicted with your faith?
Well, I'm not practicing. I wouldn't say I'm a practicing
Okay.
Muslim. I'd say I'm culturally Muslim because that's like how I was raised.
Right.
I'm not a fan of organized religion. I'm definitely a very much more spiritual person. I definitely believe in one God though. That's my thing. Like I would at least say if there is like a God in the universe, that is definitely that's like my core belief.
Yeah.
But I don't. Yeah, I just like, of course, like I knew I was gay like since I was like 6 years old. So I've always known I've had to act, I've had to perform, my whole life. And I think because I'm from like a mixed background, so the only thing my parents had the same culturally was their religion. So that's why they pushed it so heavily, like my whole life,
Right.
until I was like 17, 18. Some of it was really bad. Like I don't think because people, even like the Muslim people in the UK, they won't talk about it, but the abuse in those places are really bad, like really, really bad, because you can get away with anything. You get people from other countries without no DBS like check, which is like, disclosure and borrowing services to work with children, just like foreign, not to be like xenophobic, but like, literally like people from South Asia coming to just teach kids. No real qualifications, just religion, like it's kind of like forced down your throat.
Right.
And yeah, so I've always had my issues with it. Even like, and I've always like known myself very well, but I knew like I couldn't do anything until I had my independence. Like until I made my own money, like until I left home, whatever, which I did. I left home, and until I did that, I couldn't really live freely. I couldn't really even begin to process or even live my own thing. I think it's actually really awful the amount of people who I know are like me who live in situations even worse than what I lived in, and it's actually really bad. But there's such a like gay people from Muslim backgrounds are so lonely, they're so isolated, there's no safe space for them, really. I don't think there's a safe space for them. There are like charities, like for example like Iman and stuff like that. There are charities and stuff, but that's just a charity. Like there's no real safe space,
And it doesn't cater to like a big community.
It doesn't,
right?
yeah.
Because there's a lot of I know of a lot of DL Muslims.
so many, and
A lot.
so many, like, and people, even Muslim community, they won't even begin to even understand that gay people exist. Like they won't even say, they completely like, no, it's not real. Oh, he could never be gay. Whole time like your husband is gay, like, or your cousin's gay, like your uncle is gay.
Yeah. I had a conversation with somebody, a friend who's Muslim. He's straight, quite a good friend actually, and he's cool with me. There's no drama, no issue. He's very respectful on a surface level. But then we were talking about, because there's a lot of people that are very happy to be around queer people to be friends with them, but like when it comes to their own child, that's when it's an issue. So he has recently, and he will not mind me saying this because I'm not going to say his name, but he has recently gotten married. And we were talking about dating, yada yada yada, and he was by the way, you do know, like, I mean, he didn't have a wedding in the end, but he was like, if I have a wedding, if you're dating someone, bring them. Like, it's not an issue, which I thought was lovely. I thought was really nice of him. Kind of the bare minimum, but like even still, that's a lot for some people.
That's a lot. Yeah.
He was cool. He was like, don't worry about it. Like anyone who says anything, I will bark back. But then we got into the conversation about when he has children, and he said to me, he was like, if I have a child that's gay, they can be gay, but they just can't act on it. And I thought, well, you're part of the problem, like respectfully. Do you know what I mean? I was like, for you to even be conscious of it and then to tell them to like suppress it is probably even worse than to just like ignore it completely. and he's not. I don't know. I was just really surprised, to be honest. I just couldn't believe when he said it, and I thought quite clearly that's been ingrained from elders, probably. You know,
It's like they will do all the terrible things themselves, but they will do like all like whatever the sins, whatever the class is sin. But it's like they so much use like being homophobic as like an identity thing. Like it's so strongly ingrained like into them, like being to be homophobic, like they know it's like worse than eating pork, worse than drinking, worse than doing drugs, whatever. Like it's something that currently never crossed. Yeah, exactly. And it's like I actually stay away from the, like, I stay away from that community. Like, I completely stay away from the Muslim community. Like, I don't want anything, because for my own safety, and I know how crazy they are. And people will be like, okay, and even like gay Muslims will look like, why are you talking shit about the Muslim community? I'm not talking shit, I'm being realistic. Like, they are genuinely very, like, in my city, they beat people like no one's business. Like, they really are, like, it is like, you can't even have a conversation with them. And I feel like I've accepted it how it is, because I'm just trying to do me. And I don't think they will ever change.
First, man.
My safety comes first, like, and they will never change. Like, they will never change. And I feel like it's so awful, like, to have a kid and then tell them not to be themselves. Like, they don't understand how much mental stress, like, I'm gonna be real, like, I'm lucky to be here. I'm lucky to sit here, to still be here at 25. Like, there's years, my teen years, I never thought I'd be here. But I said, if I don't push to make sure that I'm here, and to make sure that, like, in some ways, everything that I've done, it's like, I have to, because if I don't, all the other people who come after me, or the younger, are screwed. If they don't see no representation, and even the British media, they won't show representation of people like me. They don't want to. Even like Western media, they won't show. Have you seen gay Muslim stories? I think maybe Moonlight. I think he was Muslim. One of the characters might have been Muslim. Like, you know that one film maybe years ago.
Yeah, with
I think
the black guy.
I think one of them might have been Muslim. I'm not sure if I remember the movie correctly.
Sure,
but apart from that, like, you don't see them. There's a reason why they don't, because there's a media, there's a narrative, there's an agenda, there's definitely agenda, and it's people with my identity who are pigeonholed into this like no space. It's like, if you're Muslim, that means you're completely homophobic, and there's nothing, which is half true, because a lot of things are. If you're gay, then you can never ever be Muslim, and gay people aren't Muslim, and Muslim people could never be gay, or they never come from, or gay people never even come from Muslim families. Like, that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Like, it makes no fucking sense. There's been gay people from Muslim people, like, for thousands of years. Like, there really has been. But it's such a huge problem. I don't even have all the answers. I don't even have all the answers to it.
Okay, so how do we go about? Okay, so as people who are not necessarily in this space but want to educate ourselves further, what do we do to better ourselves? And that being people who, who are people of faith, who have an open mind and want to understand the benefits of sex work, and how that can be difficult for someone who's a sex worker alone. And I'm asking you so many questions. Someone who's a sex worker alone, and someone who's also happens to be gay and a Muslim. And then also people that are just trying to general everyday normal people trying to understand sex work. Like, how do we navigate those spaces, and how do we deepen our understanding in a patient manner? That was really long, guys. I'm so sorry.
Okay, how do I say this? I feel like a lot of people use religion just as an ego thing. It's not. Some people don't really believe in divinity. It's just about ego. Cool. I've seen it. Like, I've seen it my whole life. I've seen, like, it's just about showing off to other people. And people need to understand, like, I really want people to get to a point where we can all understand that we're all human beings. I don't care what religion, I don't care what we believe in. Whatever you believe in is whatever you believe in. It doesn't matter. Whatever you believe in does not mean that people like me don't exist. And that's hard, because their ego won't let them, their pride and ego won't let them even see that. I think that's the problem. It's nothing.
How do you challenge it then?
Be very uncomfortable, but it's going to be a very uncomfortable position. It's up to the people who want to be open-minded, who say they're open-minded, and really want to stand on business like they're open-minded, instead of just saying they're open-minded just so they're cool, just so they're okay socially.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, they're not really.
What's the weirdest request you've ever received that you can share?
Okay, so scat. People want to see me shitting and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I'm not doing that. I don't care how much you pay me. I'm not shitting on video and sending you a video of me fucking shitting.
People
It's
are
like
really into
that's
scat, aren't
weird.
they?
Yeah, they're really into that. I think that's the weirdest. Like, shit and piss. Like, I think that's the weirdest. Like, I don't. I mean, I'm my favorite ones is feet. Like, people want to see my feet. Perfect, absolutely. That's my favorite one
I
to
don't
do.
think I find feet. I've never found feet that deep. Like people are really like really like anti people like being into feet stuff and like, but it's a body part. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just like it's not shit, is it?
Exactly.
I
like,
think it's quite straightforward, quite simple.
I feel no type of way about it. It's like, yeah, if you want to see my feet, see my
neither
feet. You know.
Yeah. Do you and like one thing I find really interesting, if you're like in this industry where obviously you're actively having to perform a lot for the sake of your job and for your revenue, for your coins, right? How do you like detach your like personal, and this isn't me trying to get you deep, just to try and understand, like how do you detach your personal sex life from your professional one? Like how do you like kind of like distinct one from the other?
It's different for everybody because some people don't feel any type of way about it. But for me, I literally don't think I don't think for the past 2 years, I don't think I really had a personal sex life. I really was like, if I'm gonna have sex, I'm like, if I'm gonna be bothered to have sex, let me record that content. People are like, oh, you wanna hook up? I'm like, bitch, I'll be recording. Like, if we're not recording, then fuck off. Like, I feel like I'm doing charity work. Do you know what I mean? That's how it felt like to me. But that's another reason why I want to take a break, because I want to just, enjoy and not just think of money. Like, people just enjoy connecting with people again. Because it was hard for me. I'm not gonna lie. It's different for everybody. Some people can do it. They can do whatever and then be normal. Some people have boyfriends, husbands, they're open relationships and everything like that. Is very different. But for me, I couldn't do it. I don't think I could do it. I think it was too much.
Do you think you're not sensitive, but do you think you're probably a bit more kinder than most? You seem like you've got like a very warm heart. That's the impression that I'm getting.
I think sex work is performing. It is performing a certain type of way. Even when your online persona has to be performed, like the people want to come off so mask and so I take myself so seriously and that kind of thing. And I'm like, oh God. I thought to myself, oh, fucking hell, I got into this thing to be free. I didn't get into this to keep performing, to pretend to be a certain way. So yeah, I guess I am warm on the inside. I'm not as cold. I can't be so cold like in that way and perform.
I feel like to be in this space for a long time, you probably have to be quite good at being able to like detach your emotions. And this is just like the interpretation from someone who doesn't do sex work, but I appreciate it. What's like the response been like then from like those closest to you, like friends and family?
I honestly don't have any friends. I literally lost so many friends. Don't have.
They're anti it, right?
Yeah, they're very anti. Even like the gay ones who were like the gay ones from like back. Like, of course, like they're like the first to like, okay, we can't fuck with you anymore. Like, oh, this is too much, even for us. And I understand it. I respect it. Like, I'm not gonna feel any type of way about it. But people come and go.
Yeah,
I've made better people. I've made better friends. I'd rather have a smaller circle and quality people.
100%. And those who appreciate you for you won't like bat an eyelid.
Exactly.
That,
Exactly. They won't. And I don't want people around me who would feel some type of way about me, because I'm like, it's like I know my worth. Like I'm knowing my worth. Like, come on, like you guys are lucky to be my friend. Like, and lucky, like I bring so much to this. Like, you guys really are hiding and cowering in the shadows. Yeah, like I'm not like that, and I don't want to have a life like that when I'm constantly hiding and stuff. I'm too real. Can't lie. Can't fake it. No.
Say less.
Yeah.
Okay, so my question to you is, what advice would you give to people who are trying to get into the sex work industry?
I would say think about it. Honestly, think about it long and hard. Because once you do something on the internet, the internet is forever. The internet is a real place. It might not feel like it, but the internet is a real place. Think about it long and hard. Think about it if like...
backlog.
Yeah. Think about it if it's really for you. If it really is for you. If you're not scared of the consequences, then just be safe. Like, just be safe and don't pressurize yourself. If you're not comfortable with something, don't do it. No matter how good the money is, if you're not comfortable with something, don't sacrifice your morals for money. I know it's crazy as a sex worker to say that, but there are certain things like don't, because you will only be like hurting your own like identity or like your own self-worth through things like, oh, I feel bad about myself because I did something. You're only like, don't do it. Like, it's not worth it. Only do things you're comfortable with. If a customer like online is trying to push you to do something, if you're not comfortable with it, don't do it. Like, just don't do it. Like, don't ever feel obligated to do anything. Like it's really all about knowing yourself and having your own control of the thing. Otherwise, you can lead you to very dangerous circumstances. Yeah.
Do you and that's been my concern for friends who have got into this industry. How do you? God, it sounds so official, but how do you like maintain that like safeguarding aspect?
Oh my God, it's not easy.
Because
But
people are crazy.
People are crazy. Like I have a stalker, so that's why another reason why I stopped. I stalked her
Yes,
for like
you
2
told me
years.
that, yeah.
Oh my God. After 2 years still, like the stalker, I was like, I need to just take a break and just to starve them of attention, like
Yeah.
some of like even finding a way like to get to me. So yeah, I would say it depends what city you're in, whatever. I feel like London's calm. Like I feel like it's not a really big problem. But if you live in like in the middle of nowhere, the sticks, or you're like people who can come across you or recognize you
Quite easily.
quite easily, that's different. Like you gotta be careful. Yeah. America's very different though. I feel like it's no one will bat an eyelid, but here people will have a problem still. Some people will definitely have a
But
problem.
in America, it's so prominent. It's like so normalized in America. I don't think the UK is getting to that space anytime soon. To be honest, that's just my opinion. So whereabouts is it that you're going to visit in America? Are you going to particular states?
I'm going to Ohio. I'm going to Cleveland. My friends.
That's so interesting.
I know my friend. Because I'm saying my friend. I'm like,
right. Cool.
let me like work there, whatever, and try and build up this online content thing, like just like YouTube. And I really want to finish. I want to work with people, and I really want to finish my mixtape. Like I want to get it done, and yeah, I want to just like knock it down, like be away from everything in the UK, no distractions, just work, and. Yeah, I feel like I need to. Thank you. Like
nice. You have quite like I feel like you have like quite a good like I could see you being a YouTuber. I've enjoyed your 2 videos.
Thank you. You've actually watched them? No way.
I do like very heavy research. I've got to support my people. I'm not a very good podcast host if not. You definitely have the good energy for it. And the creative space in America is literally like massive. And everyone just show let me send you my people after. Just I don't think they'll be nearby Ohio, but let me send you them anyway because they're cool. But no, like the space is different. I'm excited for you. Nice.
Thank you.
All right, well we're gonna move on. But I appreciate you for giving us your insight and your takes. I feel like do you know my thing is now I'm trying to move into a space where I feel educated. I think it's so important to try and focus and discuss like taboo should not be taboo topics because I like to educate myself. I like to educate my people as well.
Exactly.
I just think
if we don't have these difficult conversations, even though they're uncomfortable, even though it make people feel some type of way, like even though if it's kind of dangerous you have to have
it
conversations.
It never gets
normalized.
And it continues to have those people who are in those spaces to feel less valued and less important and less like I don't know, just a part of like everyday functions. You know?
Exactly.
But I appreciate you, so thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Because when I saw you, right, I thought, because my thing is, right, I have like main character syndrome, but I'm trying to get over it now because I think realistically, as over the last year, obviously respectfully, this has gotten a lot bigger and it's gotten to the point now where like people actually ask me to come on. A lot of the time I don't say yes because I don't really vibe with them, but I appreciate the reach. And I feel like now I'm in a space where like I can talk to cool people and like yourself, but we do have mutuals to be fair, so I guess that kind of doesn't. But
I mean, I'm not close to these people. Like, I just know them through like social media.
I know. But when I say mutuals, I don't mean it. And someone actually told me this because I said to someone, "Oh, we have mutuals," and they were like, "This is a friend of mine," and they were like, "Oh, like we don't have mutuals. We have how do they word it? We have like bare mutuals, but they don't see when they think of mutuals, they think of friends. I think of people I follow personally. But everyone's take on mutuals is different. But we have, what my take is, we have a couple of mutuals. Okay, So this podcast is called Side to Side. No, it's not.
The winning side.
It's not. Oh my God, how awful. I need to back in.
From your own podcast.
I've been quite good, actually. I think I've conversated quite well. Thank you very much. I think you're just a bit big because you haven't been invited back. Is that your problem?
No, I've been on twice.
Yeah, true. Do you know who loves you? My aunt.
Really?
Yeah, she was watching something. She's like, "How long have you known him then?" I was like, "Oh, a while." She was, "Oh, you always talk about him, but I don't really see his face." I was like, "I don't know what you want me to say to that." Big up my aunt. Love nice. You, love her.
That's cute.
Right, sorry. Okay, let's try again. So this podcast is called The Winning Side. So we have a segment called Side to Side. So the way I always forget this room's soundproof. When I hear noises, I get really like baffled. I'm like, who's this? This segment is called Side to Side. So the way in which it works is that basically I give you two options and you pick a side and you tell me which one you prefer and your reason why, and I do the same thing. Think of it as like a way for like your people and my people just to get a bit more of a feel for you, if you will.
Okay.
Right. Okay, so, and some of them are like serious, some of them are just stupid. It's just like a mix and match. Okay, so side to side, dating a creative or not dating a creative? You can join in too, Sam, once we've done our...
Not dating a creative.
Okay.
I can't. I don't think I could.
Mm.
I just think I need somebody who's not a creative. Like, I just need somebody who's like, that is opposite to me. Like, and I just need someone opposite.
Do you think
to me.
opposites attract?
Yeah, definitely. I can't. I wouldn't be happy if they're creative. I'd be happy. Of course, I wouldn't be like happy for them and stuff. But I just feel like it might lead to mess down the line. That's what I feel like. So yeah.
I feel like two different ways. Part of me thinks, because the creative day to day is very I guess non-traditional, but that wasn't the word I was thinking of. There's a loose structure. Do you know what I mean? I don't do 9 to 5 work. Like I have a part-time job, but I do like freelance creative stuff. Like I wouldn't, because of what I do, like a full-time job, it just wouldn't work. It doesn't fit with my week and my this and that. It wouldn't work. So in my head, part of me thinks if someone's in the same space as me, they have a better understanding as that. Because I've met non-creative people who don't understand what I do, and they just think it's a waste of time. They just don't think it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And I just think I need not so much friends, but like loose people who are around who I inevitably have to spend time with. This isn't family, by the way. This is just like mutual friends. Let's call them mutual friends. And a lot of them just don't get it.
I think people don't respect creative people because people like, especially in the UK, like everyone's like 9 to 5, do this, fall in line, do the same thing as everyone else. Don't do anything outside the box. As soon as you do something outside the box, it's like, okay, we're not respecting it because it's not stable and it's not secure and whatever. But it's like, you guys are like little slaves in offices. Like I wouldn't want to be you. I don't respect you for your 9 to 5.
And my thing is, if I was to die tomorrow, touch wood, I would rather do it having a podcast than doing a 9 to 5 job that I don't like. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm from I don't know if you know, I'm from Gloucestershire.
Okay.
So it's not too far from you. Really.
Yeah, it's not too far.
And there's like minimal creativity. They've actually opened a new space, which is actually amazing. It's really, really cool. I can't believe it's in Gloucester, to be honest. They have like really cool like creators come to do like talks and stuff. Okay. Couldn't believe it when I saw it not too long back. But as a whole, like the whole take of creativity is quite frowned upon and quite weird. I have a friend who does YouTube who is doing crazily well, and she's just moved away because she just wasn't fucking with it either. I think I think cities are definitely. I feel like it's kind of normalized in cities, to be honest. Like would you say it is in Brum?
There's definitely creative spaces in Brum. Yeah, there is creative spaces.
Because Manny and London are huge for it, like, and everyone kind of embraces it. Everyone's like, even though the UK as a whole is bad vibes, I think the capitals do, or the bigger cities have a bit more. Open-mindedness, because if you're in London, you tell someone, "Oh, my podcast," everyone's like, "Oh my god, that's so cool!" And in Manchester, everyone's like, "Oh my god, that's so cool." I haven't tested out in Brum yet, to be fair, so I don't know what the response would be like. But I think that I would rather date someone who's creative. What are you saying, Sammy?
Yeah, I'd probably go someone that's creative, purely because it's just like you said. If they don't always understand what you're doing, but it's also understanding like the industry and like the working hours and sort of like wherever you are. Like, I want to go into film and TV.
And your hours will be quite demanding when you get into that space.
Yeah, like I might have weeks where I'm locked in a room writing a script, and then
they need to
understand.
but you can't be present. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like I think it makes it easier if someone, maybe not someone like. I think it's bad when you have like 2 actors together or something like that. When
Agreed.
The same thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't want
like you're in the same areas.
Yeah, I wouldn't want a podcaster. I want like a rapper.
Does,
No musicians. No one. If he says he makes music, it's an instant chop.
Yeah.
Bye. I can't.
Do you know what? I was really against like rappers, but like every rapper I've met, I've had really good experiences with. Like they've all just kind of like broken like the the stigma for me.
They're so interesting. Like they have like a good. You have to have a good personality to be a good rapper. Like intelligence and like be
My
quick-witted
next
and
guest
stuff.
is a rapper, actually.
Okay, sick.
I'll show him. He's really cool. I think he's going to be huge. Right, okay. Fruit or veg?
Fruit.
Okay, interesting. Why?
I mean, I do like veg, but fruit is just sweeter. Like I love
Yeah.
sweet stuff.
So like my favorite thing overall is peppers. I'm just absolutely obsessed with peppers.
Which ones? Which color though? Because yellow and red are really nice, but green is not for me.
I don't fuck with green.
Yeah.
Like sometimes we're like, you know, when you go into Aldi and there'll be like a pack of 3. I'm always like, Mum, you can eat the green ones because I don't want to buy it. If not, like it's very rare to find like red, yellow, and orange.
Yeah, I know, right? The sweet ones.
They're mint though. But like I think veg just seems to work a lot more with more plates and stuff. But
I love broccoli.
do you know what? Right. So I've been like, I'm a bit like a child. So I like haven't liked broccoli for so long, right? And my friends went out for dinner a week or so, and they were like, "You're literally like 25. How can you not like broccoli?" I was like, "I just don't fuck with it." So they were like, "Can you please try it now?" You would have thought if
I'd be the same. I'd be looking like, come on, mate, what the fuck?
have seen us, you would have thought my friend was talking to her child. That's literally what it sounded like, and it was actually all right, to be fair.
Come on, sweetie, try this a little bit. Go on, yeah.
Pay for it. But if it was on my plate, I'd eat it.
Yeah, steamed broccoli is good. It's really good for you, and it's nice. Like, it's not
I
bad.
know, and that's what makes it even more annoying. But like,
I don't fuck with Brussels sprouts though. No way. I would never. Brussels sprouts, I'm actually intolerant to them. Like I can't.
I can cope with a Brussels sprout, you know.
Also, I hate Brussels sprouts.
I get fruit.
Fruit.
I like fruit more. I feel like
I also like fruit more. Just for like veg is more like
Varied.
veg makes
Yeah.
meals nicer. Like it adds more to it. But
Agreed.
Then, like, just getting up to have like an apple or something is just I miss that more.
Do you know what's really fucking good, right? And I found a hack. So like, you know, you get those fruit pots, like when you go to a supermarket. I find that like they always taste nicer than like, because I'll try and make a fruit bowl, right? I'll buy like a bunch of fruit and then cut up and put it in a plate or a bowl or whatever. I'm like, oh, this tastes like shit. But then like, but then if I buy one that's like in M&S, it tastes so good. And I'm thinking, what is the cheat code? I don't know if anyone's found that.
I think they pick the best ones or something.
Yeah.
They pick some ones.
Like, have you like seen those like pink lady apple boxes?
Yeah,
they're
branded.
unbelievable with grapes. They taste so good. And then you go to have your own apples and grapes. I think this just doesn't hit the same. I'm a bit
Like
bamboozled.
mango salsa for prawn tacos last night, and that was really good.
That sounds really
Yeah,
good.
it was real nice, but that like really added to the meal.
Yeah, I love mangoes.
I have
Love mangoes.
I have a friend who doesn't like sorry, I have a mutual who doesn't like really rate fruit or veg. Our age, 25. And I just kind of thought, and to be fair, I've kind of like had like a rebrand in my ever since about probably like 1920, where like my health kick is like to the point my friends are like, oh my god, what the hell, you're like a new person. But that's just because of people around. But anyway, but I don't know, I just find it really mad how like you can be at that age and not really appreciate greens. Like surely your body's shutting down.
Yeah, but don't you feel like since you turned 25, like I feel like since my birthday, I feel older. Like I actually, it's the first time I've got older since I've
I don't know if I feel older, but I feel like I'm going through a midlife crisis.
I feel like I actually need to, like my birthday's the day before yours.
Oh, your Pisces too.
Yeah.
Oh, like Rihanna's birthday. You got the same birthday as Rihanna.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
February as well.
Yeah, 21st of February.
Oh man,
So
I thought Pisces was March.
No.
Okay.
No, I'd Feb.
Ever since I've been like, I just feel like I really need to look after myself now since I've turned 25. Like I'm really conscious of it.
I just feel like my life currently as a whole just is a bit of a comedy. Like, like I'm just very much like,
It's a circus.
and I just think
I get that.
next year I'm closer to 30 than 20. I'm like, I need to actually sort my shit out. This is the year I'm like, right, I really need to push myself creatively, mentally, financially. Everything just needs to go up. Everything needs to go up.
That's the same like feeling I had after 25, the same thing. And then I found out I wasn't going to South Africa like a few days before that. I was like, okay, now that that's happened, it's like I have to completely change course and push. I said this year, I'm not going to hold back.
It's like a trigger, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's like a trigger.
Because I was meant to be moving to, I live in Gloucestershire still, but I bulk film, so I'm only here like one weekend a week, so it's not too bad. But my plan was to move to Reading, which is really, really close to like West London. You can get the tube in, right? And that was my plan. I had it like concrete for like a year, and then like it all just like went to shit. But things happen for a reason. And I thought, right, like God is really testing me. Like God, I know you're there, but you are really, you are really challenging me in this like current climate. But
Yeah.
I do think everything happens for a reason. And I need to remind myself that like 25 is actually really young.
It is young.
Like really young. I feel like we need to stop like setting like particular like achievements with age.
I know. It's the culture we live in, ageism and all that.
Yeah, agreed. And everything's so like glamorized when you do it at such a young age.
Mm.
My friend always says to me, he's like, "Oh, look at Olivia Rodrigo." I'm like, "But she's rich and famous. It's not the
It's
same."
not the same. It's not the same. Like even myself, I was like, I feel like sometimes I feel like, I'm behind, like, but then I have to remember, like, hang on a minute, babe, listen, like, look at what you've been, look at yourself, like, look at the situation, like, it's okay, like, you've got time still.
Yeah, a
So,
lot
yeah,
of time.
a lot more time, like,
A lot of time. Like I always think to myself, I'm 25 and I've never been in like a serious relationship.
same.
And I think, am I the drama? Do you know what I mean? Because I want to have a family eventually, I think. But then I think, like, sperm lasts forever. Do you know what I mean?
It's
So
because of your friends and parents, I think. Like I realised the other day, my dad was engaged with a house by 20.
to your mum.
To my mum, yeah. Which is crazy. And
My-
one of my friends is married with a house and a kid. The other one's got a
Yeah.
house and getting
My
married.
dad had his
That's
first
crazy.
baby at 19.
But like you said, they're all nine. Like accountants doing 9 to 5 stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah, but this-
I literally could never sit down.
This is the transition. We're like, as a generation, we're more career driven. I think a lot of us would rather, I personally, I think so. I think a lot of us would rather focus on establishing a career and being settled in that department and then kind of focusing and switching up on the other avenues afterwards. I think before it was very much like, okay, you stay where you grow up, you're born somewhere, you stay there for life, you get your 9 to 5, you get your structure, you find your wife with your husband, you have your children, and then you're just stuck. Me, it's like, no, okay, right, okay, I'm 25, things aren't going to plan, that's okay. I have a podcast, this podcast is going to grow. I'm then going to establish that for the next 3 or 4 years, then do presenting, then find a husband, then a family, and then yeah. But there's no like time limit. Like I could maybe find that at 50. It's all good. I remember hopefully before 30, but like it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Right, okay. I wrote this before you gave my answer earlier. It's just this is okay, Birmingham or London?
London. The fuck am I going to do in Birmingham? People don't fuck with me there. I don't fuck with them. So what the fuck? I like London. It's fun. I can dress how I want to dress. Like I'm not shocked to not be in a tracksuit. I'm Birmingham. I'm like a tracksuit, looking bummy as hell. I will literally not wear. I wouldn't even go out in a shirt like this. I wouldn't even show my arms in Birmingham. Slut. Do you know what I mean? Like no, I don't want to. I don't even want to. I don't even draw any more attention to myself than I have to.
I just love Birmingham. You know.
Because you think it's different. That's probably why.
Yeah, I get really I get quite offended by Birmingham slander because I've had so many good evenings in Birmingham. Like Birmingham was the place to go to for gigs as a kid. There's all like the cool. Me and my friends have really good nights out in Birmingham, and I just feel like I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just my fortune. Like obviously not financially, just like things. But like I find people are very friendly in Birmingham. People, I can't. The only time I feel not safe isn't the right word, but the only time where I feel comfortable in London out and about is in queer spaces. Like if I'm like going shopping or anything, because I'm very much like, oh hi, how are you? Have a good day. Look, thank you. Like yada yada yada. But people just don't want to know. There's this one guy, he works at the Greggs near Paddington Station, and he fucking hates me. Obviously, every time I see him, I'm like, hi, how are you? Fine. Oh, what are you up to? Working. I'm like, okay, cool. Have a good day. There's me gonna give my fucking like 50p in his tip jar, but now you can do one, fam. But yeah, I don't find that many people in London are that friendly, apart from my friends or people who are mutual. I've actually had it before where I met someone, they were really rude to me, and then they realized who I was friends with, and they completely switched up.
Oh, that's some fake shit. That is some fucking fake shit. That's the kind of thing in London. If that happened to me, I would probably not do well. Like I'll probably start some shit. Like I'll probably be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, because I will speak up, I'll pull up on it, and they probably won't like that. And they'll be like, oh, this rough person from Brum, whatever the fuck. I don't care. That's some fake shit. I don't fuck with that.
Yeah.
When you switch up, I would cut them off. Like I wouldn't even be around them. Like that's some snake energy. No way.
I think it was a networking event. So I thought,
Social climate. I mean, it's networking.
I was like, right, okay, try and, because I don't get angry very easily unless you've really taken me. I just thought, okay, whatever. There's loads of people here. There's loads of people to meet. Let's just keep it moving. I haven't seen this person since, to be fair. So big up them. Birmingham or London?
I feel like it's hard. I feel like when you've lived somewhere for a while, you start to find all the bad bits about it. Like I love London, but like I say, I hate the people in London. Like
They're horrible.
that's what I mean,
Really?
everything's so horrible. I hate it. Like it does my head in. And
They're like
then
robots.
in it. They just barge into you and they just like they don't move out of the way. It was like the other day, like Posh's obviously on the crutches now walking, and this guy just did not move. Like I had to completely step onto the road just to let him through.
Yeah.
And she's like barely walking. I mean, just move.
And
over,
she
like,
quite visibly barely not walking
and I'm
either.
like, this is crazy. And it's just I
The
hate
in-
that side of London, but there are. I like how London is seemingly quite inclusive. And
Yeah,
it's not-
agreed.
Yeah.
That's the one.
I like
Yeah.
that. I hate being in places where I mean, I'm obviously like the biggest white straight guy, like but I still hate seeing.
But you're an
people
ally.
in there. No, I am 100%.
Big yourself up.
I
Big
hate
yourself up.
seeing people when they're in situations where they're uncomfortable. It just makes me angry.
Do you know how rare it is to have like, and this isn't to shit on you, but do you know how rare it is to have an ally that's white and straight and a man?
Oh yeah, I know. I know it's crazy. It's crazy, but I just don't
Which is weird because all
understand.
my best friends are straight and white.
I just don't understand it. And that is one thing I love about London. Is in that sense.
We
It's
can't
just
take
so-
that away from it.
No. But
No.
it's just like the people in London and the price. The price in London is so ridiculous. It's so expensive.
So like I went to meet my friend in Ealing before I had filming a few weeks ago, and I was I'll buy it, more for me. It was 2 pints for like how much was it? I think it was like £17 or something. I said to the guys, like, "Where's the fourth one then?" Like, don't fuck with me.
That's crazy. Okay, that is nuts.
And
That
do
is
you know what?
nuts.
People here drive like fucking maniacs. So I drove today to Hillingdon. You know, you can like pay for like a car park.
Yeah.
It's really cheap. It's like £6 for like 8 hours. And people on the M40 drive like twats. Like it's unbelievable. Everyone just like undertakes. Honestly, I'm here in the middle lane, right, ready to like obviously switch as a normal fucking person does. And like as I'm about to change, I see this fucking wanker going up this side, right, and going like in front of me. People
There's
drive,
no speed cameras though. That's why.
people drive like fucking assholes. Honestly, it
Beeping as well, though.
it drives me mad. To be fair, I did piss off someone last week when I was driving up here. I was like, okay, I shouldn't say what I was doing, but I was doing something whilst driving. This guy goes like that, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing that for? Like, me and you, you're fucking fuck you. And then I was like, oh shit, I can see what I'm doing now. Sorry. Drivers here are dickheads.
No, outside my house, it can be like 4 in the morning. It can be like 7 a.m. They're like honking their horns like crazy.
Do you park on the street? You have a driveway?
No, we've got a driveway. but
That's
it's
fun.
It's crazy. Like people just.
That's rare to have a driveway in London.
screaming, yeah,
Do you know the privilege you have?
I know. And then we've got 2 cars on there, and one of them's got a broken clutch and just sat in the way on the track.
Whose car?
Kuzo's.
Oh, I love him. How is he?
Yeah, he's good. He's
I
good.
miss him. Has he got?
Wiped up now?
Really? Oh God, love her. He is fit. He's just too short for me, to be fair. But big up him. I do like him. Tell him I say hello. Okay. Treating or being treated.
Being treated.
Right.
I'm not sure. What the fuck? Like, you should treat me. Like,
Do you treat your, if you're hypothetically, do you treat your people?
What do you mean by people? Like who am I treating?
Like if you were seeing someone dating someone, would you treat them?
Yeah, I guess like
You seemed quite reluctant.
being around me is the treat. Like I'm the treat. Like I don't, what do they need more than me? Like I'm the treat. Like what else do they want? Like
I don't know. I haven't asked.
I don't know,
I'm
like-
just thinking hypothetically.
I'm very nice. I'm very caring. I do like gift giving and stuff like that. I do. I'm very sentimental. Like it wouldn't be like some crazy like just because it's like some luxury shit. No,
What's your love language?
I don't even know. It's not giving gifts and receiving gifts. I do like being treated though. I love being treated, but it's not like it's quality time. I think it's quality time
Yeah, cool.
because I'd rather have good quality time and conversation than just what the fuck are you going to take me to some fucking place like some really like uppity place where I have to like watch my shoulder or people acting weird like.
And to
I'm
be
not like
honest,
that.
some guys' only personality trait is that they have money. Like a lot of guys, their only personality trait is actually having money in the bank, and it's very much like, okay, cool, you can provide financially, but I'm a loser. I want like emotional, like maturity.
What do you mean you're a loser?
Huh?
What do you mean you're a loser? What do you mean you're a loser? Just
No, like
because
sorry, no, I'm not. Like I'm a loser. I'm not actually a loser. Yeah,
okay.
but I want like emotional maturity. Do you know what I mean? I want like
Mm.
meaningful conversation and
Yeah.
like connection. I just think if your only flex and your only trait is that you have like
yeah, I mean, if you only have money, then I'm going to use you for your money. I'm going to keep it moving. Like I don't
yeah,
like you're not going to be something a long term.
it's giving wheat.
Yeah, It's not a real vibe. It's not a real connection.
No, agreed. Okay, but I would say I really like treating people, to be honest, but only if I really, really fuck with you. Like, it takes a lot for me to like be vulnerable, but I think when I am, I'm like the biggest like wet sack ever. It's rare to see. My friends have never seen it.
Okay.
And if any ex tings were to admit it, I would deny it completely and like sue them. But like, but no, like if I've like found a person that I really vibe with and care for, like I'm a sucker. Yeah, what are you saying?
Yeah, treating.
Yeah, you've never treated me once, so that can't be true.
I always work for free job.
Hey, but we're looking at the bigger picture. There'll be a day when we're sat in a fucking studio and you're a full-time editor and thing, and then so really I'm helping you out.
Yeah,
If you deep it like that, really I'm a Samaritan. This is your like university community work.
yeah, maybe. I don't know. I definitely like a lot more treating now, especially since I've been with Posh.
Yeah, but that's because you're in a healthy relationship,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
She's so lovely, honestly. He dated proper dickheads before. His ex-girlfriend absolutely hated her, proper monster. But like no one could say anything. We're like, oh, she's lovely, mate. No, she was a proper twat. But I'm obsessed with your girlfriend. You know how much I like her.
No, ever since I've been with her, like it's always been about treating.
As it should be. She's a lovely girl.
That is sweet. That's nice.
But I do think that at the same time, for me, I don't expect what I can't provide.
Okay.
So like
Yeah.
I would only want someone to give me stuff that I can provide for them. Do you know what I mean? So like I wouldn't hypothetically, okay, I don't want somebody who's going to take me to the Ritz because I can't provide that for them. Do you know what I mean? But like I find it really interesting, quite humorous actually when I see like babes online and they'll be very much like, oh, like my man needs to give me this and that, but you're not able to provide it for yourself or for them. So, do you know what I mean? And like, what would you do without them? It doesn't make sense to me. I just
such a mess.
It's hypocritical.
Such a mess. Like
Hypocritical.
it's just like this whole attitude and this whole ego thing. It's like, oh, I'm better than this. Like, no, God, like you turn a penny.
Like
I'm
it's
sorry.
like a necessary entitlement. If you can provide it yourself, fair play. I'm not here to cuss you, but for you to like be, oh, he needs to give this and that, but you can't actually scratch two pennies together to fund it your own way. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it's just like a huge generational problem. Like, excuse me, like I don't know how it happened, but somewhere along the way, like all I've seen the past few years is like, especially like straight people, no shade to straight people, but I've been seeing them on podcasts. They non-stop talking, oh, girls are saying this way, guys are, oh, God, they're getting like all angry, oh, why is she saying this? How can she expect that? And then it's just like they're all a mess. Like, and if straight people don't sort out their shit, we're all gonna go extinct, to be honest. Like they like, I would hate to be like, no shade to straight people again. Like I feel like they are literally, this is probably like the worst generations to be a straight person because the fucking energy, like you guys, like the women and the men are so energy, the frequency is completely different. Like they're not able to like have that. And it's so rare to find people actually have like a stable, healthy relationship these days. Like it's rare.
And the normalization of why can't I speak? Cheating and like mistreatment. It's like very much like, it's very 50-50. I feel like there's half of people that won't put up with the shit from a damaging relationship. And then a lot of people are very much like, well, what's my alternative? I'd rather be single personally, but that's just
I'd rather be alone than be in bad company.
100%.
100%. Like.
Agreed. Yeah.
But also women are socialized to never be lonely, because if they feel like they're lonely, then their self-worth is bad. Like it's a whole thing. That's why I feel like straight people and straight women like,
and there's the issue of like the time ticking bomb as well. If you reach like your mid-30s and you haven't had a child, even though there's loads of alternatives, but no one wants to talk about that. It's just a very,
after 30 as a woman, like you're dead, like, you know, it's like your baby's dead.
My mum was saying to me that she was told when she was pregnant with me that she was classed as an old mum, but she was 33. 33 is like young. 33 is so young. Okay, I want to end this on a positive light though.
Okay.
So what are we looking forward to this year? What can we see from you? What can you see for yourself?
By August, my mixtape should be done. It should be done. It should be finished. It should be out. That's it. That's the biggest thing.
Genre? I actually haven't asked you. What's like?
I don't want to say too much because I don't want people to be like, you know how like UK people are. They're like, oh.
Would you say alternative? Can I ask you that?
There's some rapping in there, so I wouldn't say it's alternative.
Okay, cool.
I would say pop. Yeah, I'd say pop.
Camp.
Pop, dance, that kind of thing.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the vibe I'm going
Is
for.
it giving Renaissance Part 2?
It's not. Listen, Beyonce. Let's not get into Beyonce about her using people for her artistic thing. It's giving me like it's very like it's nice energy. It's not like negative. It's not depressing. It's not like sad. It's not. Yeah, it's like it's a feel good vibe. I want to put that out there, like good messages and stuff.
Sweet. All right, nice one. I'm excited to subscribe and listen to it.
Thank you.
Excited to see where you go, and also remember your day ones.
Exactly, of course.
No, remember that, Sam. Remember your day ones. Do you know what? I have so much potential. I see so much potential in like all of my guests, right? You know, you can like. I feel like I'm like a bit of a talent sensor. I have a friend who's like gone viral since being on here, and I always he's lovely. I'm always I remember you, Jord. But yeah, I'm excited to see where you go. And I'm hoping for only good and positive things from you and all of that. And thank you for chatting with me. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. Before we finish, how about you? What are you looking forward to this year?
To growth, mental growth, creative growth. I think I'm quite proud of myself. I've actually stuck to my resolutions, which I never thought I'd do. And
you're consistent with this, so that is something to be really proud of. Like, how hard is it for creative people to even stay consistent at something? Like, it's difficult.
Yeah, I think I think for a while people are like, oh, he's just doing this for whatever. But then, like a year and a half later, everyone's like, fucking hell, he's not giving up. Is he? Like, I won't. It's my baby. But yeah, mental growth, creative growth, prioritizing healthy relationships.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I'm just continuing to grow and I think trying to change my mindset has been the main thing, but I'm looking forward to just growing in all types of ways, I guess. Yeah.
I see.
Sweet. So obviously you'll probably get some lovely looking DL men that might like the look of you that watch my show. So no, joking. No, okay, no, fuck the DLs. We leave them in 2023.
They'll be ignored unless they got the money. This one to spoil me.
Where can people find you, please? What are the socials?
Instagram's kind of my main one. I had it for years. Caramel Baba, Instagram, and then TikTok again, Caramel Baba, and YouTube again, Caramel Baba. SoundCloud, Caramel Baba. That's it.
Cool. I'll attach it all to the description below. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. An hour and a half in. Gee. Hang on, don't end it yet. My name is Jord Harewood, and this podcast is called The Winning Side. If you've made it to the end, it's just rude not to subscribe, to be honest. Like, I can see you lot coming through. Yeah, thank you very much. We'll see you sooner than later. Have a good evening, afternoon, morning, whichever one it is. And yeah, we love and appreciate you always, and we'll see you sooner than later.
Cool.
Bye.
Bye.
Sweet. We need to fucking invest in that thing. With